Hello everybody, I hope all of you are fine. Today I'll be explaining you all a new poem. Okay, so before we start discussing the poem, let me ask you a few questions. Which is your favorite season and why? Many of you will like the winter, many will like the summer, some of you will like the spring, and some of you also might like the rainy season. If you ask me personally, I love the spring season. Why? Because spring is the season of flowers. Everything seems so fresh around us, and flowers blooming, and everything seems so colorful. We also celebrate the Rongali Bihu during the spring season. Yes. Now some of you like the winter season, right? Let me guess why. Because you get a long winter break. Yeah, and it feels so warm and so cozy and so comfortable to sleep during the winter mornings. Yes. Okay, so the poem that we are going to discuss today, the poem that I am going to explain today, is about the winter season. The poet has beautifully described the month of November, which falls in the winter season. Okay, so before can you guess the name of the poem now? Very good. No, by Thomas Hood. So before we start reading the poem, let us know something about the poet. Here on your screen, you can see the picture of Thomas Hood. Thomas Hood was born in the year 1799. In London, and his father was a bookseller. He is one of the most noted English poets. Okay, and he was not only a poet, he was also an author. He was also a humorist, and he is very well known for his comic verses. Two of his famous poems are The Bridge of the Sighs and The Song of the Shirt. Okay, let us read the poem together. No, by Thomas Hood. No sun, no moon. No morn, no noon. No dawn, no dusk, no proper time of day. No sky, no earthly view, no distance looking blue. No road, no street, no other side this way. No end to any row. No indications where the crescents go. No top to any steeple, no recognitions of familiar people, no courtesies for showing them, no knowing them, no travelling at all, no locomotion, no inkling of the way, no notion, no go by land or ocean, no mail, no post, no news from any foreign coast. No park, no ring, no afternoon gentility, no company, no nobility, no warmth, no cheerfulness, no healthful ease, no comfortable feel in any member, no shade, no shine, no butterflies, no bees, no fruits, no flowers, no leaves, no birds. November. Let us understand the poem now. No sun, no moon, no morn, no noon. No dawn, no dusk, no proper time of day, no sky, no earthly view, no distance looking blue. The poet says that since it is winter, and winter is characterized by heavy fog and snowfall in London, the poet says that he cannot see the sun and he cannot see the moon. There is no sun, there is no moon, no morn, no noon. Morn means morning. There is no difference between morning and afternoon. Normally, what happens? The sun shines brightly in the morning, and then by afternoon, it shines above our head. It shines overhead, right? But since it is winter and it is and the entire region is blanketed with fog, the fog is obscuring everything. Has covered everything, and since there is heavy rainfall, morning and afternoon cannot be differentiated. There is no difference between morning and afternoon. No dusk, no dawn, no dusk, no proper time of day. No dawn, D-A-W-N. Dawn means the period in which the first light appears in the sky. That is the time when the sun's rays first strikes the earth. That is not exactly morning and not exactly night too. Neither it is completely morning nor it is night. So that juncture of time, that point of time when the sun's rays first strikes the earth is known as dawn. Alright, so no dawn, no dusk. What is the meaning of dusk? Dusk is that period, that time after sunset but just before night. Alright, that means neither completely dark nor completely day. Now that time of the day, that period of time when it is neither completely dark, completely night, nor it is completely day. No dusk, no dawn, no dusk, no proper time of the day. Proper time of the day cannot be known. Normally when we look at the sun, we can make an idea, right, what time of the day it is. Earlier when there were no watches and no clocks, people used to see the sun and they come to know about the time of the day. But now since the sun cannot be seen, alright, there is no difference between dawn and the dusk. The proper time of the day cannot be known. No sky, no earthly view, no distance looking blue. No sky. The sky cannot be seen. No earthly view can be seen. No geographical features like hill, valleys or mountains or ponds can be clearly seen. It is not visible because of the heavy fog. Like in the picture you can see, because of the heavy fog in winter, the road is not visible. We cannot see who is coming from the other side. Similarly, because of the heavy fog and heavy snowfall, the distance looking blue cannot be seen, the vast sky cannot be seen, and no earthly view is visible. No road, no street, no other side the way, no end to any row, no indications where the Christians go, no top to any steeple, no recognitions of familiar people, no courtesies for showing them, no knowing them, no knowing them. All right, no road, no street, no other side this way, no road, no street. This doesn't mean that by winter the road disappears. Alright, here the poet says no road, no street. That doesn't mean that there are no roads and there are no streets. It just means that since it is winter, since it is foggy, since it is heavily snowing, the road cannot be seen, the street cannot be seen. You can see in the picture, right? See, the roads cannot be seen, the streets cannot be seen, the road other side of the way cannot be seen. Alright, the entire road is not completely visible because of the heavy fog. Yes, no end to any row. Now, what is a row? What is row? A row is a narrow street lined with houses or buildings on both sides. You can see on your screens. Here, there is a narrow street. Can you see? A narrow street here, which has houses or buildings lined on both sides. Okay, so this kind of road, this kind of street, this kind of narrow street which has houses and buildings lined on both the sides is known as row. Alright, so the poet says here no end to any row. Since it is very foggy, since it is densely fogged, the other side of the road cannot be seen. The other side of the road cannot be seen since it is completely blanketed by the heavy fog. No indications where the crescents go. No top to any steeple. No recognition of familiar people, no courtesies for showing them, no knowing them. No indications where the crescents go. In a normal situation, you can see the buildings and the houses nearby, right? When it is bright and sunny and the sun shines brightly, there is no fog, no pollution, right? We can see and all the buildings, all the houses nearby very clearly. Yes, it is visible clearly. But during winter, that too in London, where the winter is very harsh, all right, where the winter is very harsh, where it snows heavily during winter, when the fog is too thick for us to see what is around us, it becomes difficult for us to see the buildings nearby. Here, crescents. What is the meaning of crescent? Crescent, all of you know the crescent shape of the moon. Yes. So here, crescent indicates the terrace of the building. Alright, the terrace of the building, which together takes 2, 3 or 4, 5 buildings together, alright, whose terraces takes the shape of a crescent moon. So the buildings here, crescent refers to a series of linked building. Alright, here crescent doesn't mean the crescent shaped moon. The crescent shaped moon is something, you know, like this. Yeah, it's not so easy to draw here. Alright, so the crescent shaped moon, you know, the shape is somewhat like this, right? So here in the poem, crescent doesn't mean this moon, but it means a series of linked building whose terrace seems to be like, takes the form of a crescent moon. The arc of the terraced houses laid out on an arc to form the crescent shape. So the poet says no indication where the crescents go. That means the series of linked building, you can see here in the picture itself, the buildings are linked, right? So this kind of series of linked building whose terrace together takes the shape of a crescent moon can be termed as crescent. Okay, no indications where the crescent go. We don't know where the crescent go, where the buildings are totally invisible because of the dense fog and heavy snowfall. No top to any steeple. Now what is a steeple? Here you can see a church. Steeple means the tower of a church. Yes, no top to any steeple. The tower of the church cannot be seen, since this tower is also completely blanketed by the fog. Okay, by the heavy and dense fog. No steeple, no top to any steeple. The top of the church, the tower of the church cannot be seen because of the dense fog. No recognitions of familiar people, no courtesies for showing them, no knowing them. No recognitions of familiar people. See, everybody, whoever is out on the streets, they are busy and they are, you know, they are moving too fast to reach their home as soon as possible. No recognitions of familiar people. Even familiar people cannot be recognized. Why can these familiar people cannot be recognized? First of all, it is very cold. There is no time to wait and talk and see who is passing by. Secondly, since it is very cold, people are covering themselves from head to toe. So even familiar people whom the poet knows cannot be, you know, they can't be recognized. Thirdly, because of the fog. The fog is so thick, the fog is so thick, it has blanketed everything in the entire region that people who just pass nearby also cannot be recognized. No courtesies for showing them, no knowing them. Courtesy. What do you mean by courtesy? Courtesy is good behavior towards others. Since we cannot recognize the people who are passing by, how can we show our good behaviors to them? Generally, in normal situation, what happens when we walk on the road, or we are in the streets? If we meet somebody whom we know, whom we are familiar to, we wait and we talk to them and we talk about their well-being and about their families, right? But now here you see what is happening. People cannot be recognized. Even familiar people cannot be recognized. And since the poet cannot recognize the familiar people, there is no question of showing courtesy to them. There is no question of showing good behavior to the people passing by the poet. No knowing them. Since I don't know them, they are covered from head to toe. Yes, they are covered from head to toe. People are all in a hurry to reach their home as soon as possible. And moreover, the dense fog has blanketed everything. Nothing is clearly visible. So I don't know the people who are passing near me. Even familiar people even the familiar people cannot be recognized. All right. So since I don't know them, so there is no question of showing courtesy towards people who are passing by me. No traveling at all. No locomotion, no inkling of the way, no notion, no go by land or ocean, no mail, no post, no news from any foreign coast. No traveling at all, no locomotion. No, traveling becomes very difficult. All right, traveling becomes difficult during harsh winters in London. Why? Because the road is obscured by the heavy fog. It is obscured by the heavy fog. Obscured by the heavy fog. And what else? Snow. Snow has covered the entire region. All right, the roads are blocked because of the snow. So as a result, traveling becomes uncomfortable, it becomes almost impossible. No traveling at all, no locomotion. Locomotion also means moving from one place to another. So during harsh winters in London, it becomes almost impossible to travel, since in the picture you can see very clearly the road is not visible. It is not clear. Even people will not know what is coming from the other side. Yes, the road is not clear. It is not visible. The end of the road cannot be seen. So traveling becomes very difficult. No inkling of the way, no notion. You cannot make out where this road leads to. No, you cannot make out the other end of the road. Yes, no inkling of the way, no notion. Inkling means hint. You won't get any hint to where this road leads. You will not find any signboards or hoardings stating where the road leads. Even if there are signboards and hoardings, what will happen is, even if there are milestones, because of the heavy fog and heavy snowfall, the milestones and the hoardings and the boards becomes invisible. There is no inkling, there is no notion. You cannot be clear to where this particular road leads. No go by land or ocean, no mail, no post, no news from any foreign coast. Alright? No go by land or by ocean. Traveling by land is impossible. Traveling by ocean is also not possible. No mail, no post, since traveling is disrupted. Since traveling is not possible, so no news comes from the foreign coast, no mails comes from the foreign coast, no letters and posts come from the foreign coasts. No park, no ring, no afternoon gentility, no company, no nobility. No park, no ring. Now what is a ring? Ring is a circular course used for riding and driving. Here in the picture you can see there is a circular course. Can you see here, this part here? A circular course. So there is a circular road here, right? And this circular course is used for riding or walking. But here the poet is referring to the circular course in Hyde Park in London. The picture that you see here is not of Hyde Park, okay? So I just pasted here to show you the ring, okay? So ring is a circular road, circular street which is used for riding or maybe for walking or for just strolling by. Okay, no park, no ring, no afternoon gentility. Gentility means well-mannered people. So here you can see this is also a busy street. But since it is winter, you cannot see people coming out for evening walks or going for a cup of tea or coffee to their friend's home or going to a cafeteria or something like that. The entire course is empty. Yes, why? Because the winter is very harsh. You can see the fog, you can see the snow, heavy snow. Yes. Okay, no park, no ring. Here again, this doesn't indicate that by winter all the parks vanishes, all the parks are, all the parks disappear. It is not like that. Parks are there, but since it is cold, it is winter, yes, it is blanketed with fog, heavy snowfall, the park cannot be seen. Moreover, people cannot come out from their homes to enjoy a picnic or a walk or a ride in the ring, or they cannot enjoy a picnic in the park, since it is very cold and very hard. The weather is very harsh. People only come out from their homes when it is really very, very necessary, and people are always in a hurry to reach their homes as soon as possible. No afternoon gentility. There is nobody in the busy street. And there is no afternoon, no courteous and well-mannered people strolling and walking and coming out from their homes to meet their friends and to visit coffee houses, etc. No company, no nobility. There is no one. The poet is all alone. He came out from his home and he's describing whatever he is seeing. He's all alone. He has no company, no one to accompany him in the cold winter day. No warmth, no cheerfulness, no healthful ease, no comfortable feel in any member, no shade, no shine, no butterflies, no bees, no fruits, no flowers, no leaves, no birds, November. No warmth, no cheerfulness, no healthful ease. the winters are very harsh, right? Snowfall, very cold. People have to think 100 times before coming out from their homes because of the harsh weather conditions. Yes, no warmth. There is no warmth. There is no growth. In English literature, winter is always referred to something very negative. All right. In many poems, we see this trend. Whenever if the poet speaks about winter, he tries to refer to some pain or maybe old age or maybe loneliness, etc. So here too, our poet Thomas Hood says that he has no company. He is totally lonely because of the winter. No, there is no warmth, there is no happiness, there is no cheerfulness, nobody is happy, all the people are reluctant to come out from their homes. No healthful ease. In the winter season, people fall ill very frequently. There is no healthful ease, nobody is happy, nobody is cheerful, and there is no warmth. Even the health condition of the people are also deteriorating because of the harsh winter. No comfortable feel in any member. Nobody is comfortable. No human being is comfortable. No animals, no birds, no insects, nobody, nothing is feeling comfortable. Nobody is feeling comfortable. No shade, no shine, no butterflies, no bees. Normally during winter, what happens? During autumn season, the trees shades its leaf, right? So by winter, the trees are without any leaves. So since there are no leaves, there is no shade. No shade, no shine. There is no shade, there is no shine, there is no sunshine. Since there are no shade, since there is no shade, since there is no sunshine, since there are no flowers around, we cannot see butterflies and bees. Everything seems so dull and so dark. No fruits, no flowers, no leaves, no birds are chirping around. It is the month of November. So in the poem we can see that the poet negates the month of November. He associates the month of November to that of negativity, to that of something which lacks humanity, something which lacks warmth and sunshine and growth. But he narrates the entire poem in a very light-hearted manner. All right. If we read the poem, we will find that he has used a sense of comic, a comic sense to portray a very negative or dark aspect of the month of November. Please let me know if you have understood the poem or not, if you have enjoyed the poem or not. If you have any doubts, please ask me. I will attach your question answers. All right. I'll send the question answers to your teachers. And page number 54, question number C, you will be doing as homework. Thank you.